If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.
Had a number of questions come in this week from all social media platforms.
I have a shady balcony in our home that receives only direct morning sunlight. Do you think I could grow rhubarb over there? Also, I'm in zone 11.
Well, rhubarb grows in zone 2 to 8 here in the Milwaukee upper Midwest. We're between 4 and 4
Where's
and
zone
6.
11?
That's Southern California,
okay.
Southern Texas, Arizona, that area. So rhubarb can grow in zone 2 to 8. It requires extensive chill period below 40 degrees Fahrenheit in order to produce the stems after winter. It can be grown as an annual from seed in zones 9, 10, and 11, but the stalks will be small and less robust. So the answer to your question is you could, but it's not going to be worth your effort in order to get that rhubarb that you're hoping to get that you find in the store.
So, some of our herbs and other plants, as well as flowers, were attacked by those Japanese beetles last year. What do you suggest to keep those away? I know those traps are available, but what else can you suggest?
Well, yeah, the traps are available, and if you use the pheromone traps, you want to put them far away from the problem that the Japanese beetles are attacking the plants. So all of the bugs go that direction. Otherwise, you can go and look at phyllombioproducts.com. They have an organic granular application to get rid of or kill the grubs that are in the soil. And
that's PHYLLOM bioproducts.com.
Yeah, it works. You need to look at it if you've got Japanese beetles in your area. It'll greatly reduce the population.
Would you say, so this is a comment, that you're supposed to plant your bulbs, tulips, during a full moon, and that goes for fence post roofing too? Well,
we side dressed our garlic last week on video with the Ivy Organic 6 macro
it's a
fertilizer.
6 macro fertilizer.
And we found that the garlic that we had planted last year had most of the bulbs had pushed up from 2 to 3 inches below the ground. Now, we don't know how true this is, but this was a comment that came in through that video and indicated that possibly you would plant it on a full moon, and that is an indication that it pushes these things up out of the ground. Never heard of it. Now, we've heard the gardening method of planting by the moon, but we've never looked into any more than just we heard that term type of situation. So, I don't know. It may be something that we need to look into, and that may explain why those particular bulbs pushed up out of the ground. Will white butterflies affect my radishes? I have heard yes and no. I'm trying to decide if I need to cover them or not. All right, radishes take 18 to 25 to 30 days to reach maturity. The white flies may affect a little bit of the growth of the greens, but they won't affect the bulb because of that quick growing cycle. If you do feel that it's necessary, you can cover them with a frost cloth to prevent the butterflies from and other insects from affecting your radishes, but leave them exposed, you'll be just fine. Last week we had Joe Carson on the program, author of the Straw Bale Garden Book, and here's a question about it. If I stack bales one on top of the other to get an elevated height in order to grow in, do I have to condition both bales, and could I put off planting the bale if I've already conditioned it if the weather doesn't cooperate? Well, yes, you could hold off on planting, but it would be best if you could kind of time it out to once the 14-day conditioning process is over to plant right away. Secondly, if you stack one bale on top of the other, it's only the top bale that needs to be conditioned. But do keep in mind that the weight will compress the bottom bale, so you might want to consider looking at using a pallet or some type of other elevated means of more structure support than just a bale on top of a bale, because it could get too heavy and tip over. Next question is from Sam and Tom near Detroit. We are looking to invest some garden space for perennials. I have a small urban backyard. We just bought a house, and we are thinking about strawberries, asparagus, and berry bushes. Since we don't have a lot of space, is it a smart move to grow perennials that will take up a permanent spot in our yard for many years? So we're going to go out to Ben Bartley. He is from Standard Process Farms. Standard Process is your trusted whole food supplement manufacturer for over 90 years. To help identify the best supplements for you, find your local healthcare professional today. Go to standardprocess.com/patient.
Hi, this is Ben Bartlett from the Standard Process Organic Farm. Today we got a question from Sam and Tom near Detroit, which is a really good one. How much of your space in your garden do you commit to perennials, and how much do you commit to annuals? Growing perennials is a great way to have a crop that can produce for many years with usually some minimal upfront investment. But here's how I tend to think about garden space allocation. What do I want the most out of my garden? How much space can I give up for several years? What kind of options can I use to make that space more efficient? What does it take for my ground? What does my ground really do well at? And then what do I like? Sometimes you can be really efficient with stackable containers, things like lettuce and very short season annuals. You can move those up to your deck and commit some of that space to perennials like berries or strawberries or even asparagus. Plants like berries and asparagus do tend to take patience and lengthy commitment, so that ground can be tied up for several years. But make sure you do your homework, get them planted early enough so they've got a chance to establish, and you'll have a crop that can produce for a long time.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.